So the fact that you're watching this video tells me you're one of the more open-minded riders out there. There can be a lot of negativity around the Yamaha TMAX. This is the new 2022 version, and in this video I want to tell you what it's like to ride, but also what a lot of owners think about them and why this does really matter to them. This really is so much more than just a scooter. It's more of a motorcycle that's automatic. Yamaha's keen to keep calling it a premium bike and talk about the premium build on it. And I'll say from the outset, this is £12,500. But don't switch off just now, because it's the price we're kind of getting used to paying for motorcycles now as prices increase. And honestly, if you go over this bike, all the finish, the materials, it is extremely well made. It's a parallel twin motor making 46.9 brake horsepower and 41.1 pound-foot. So it's not a huge amount, but it's an extremely smooth motor, and it gives you that balance that you need. So it's incredibly easy to ride. One of the things that people used to say about the old one was it was a little bit tall. It's still an 800mm seat height, but Yamaha's made this a bit narrower, so it's easier to get your feet down. I'm 5'10", and I can comfortably get my feet down. Obviously, because the weight's carried fairly low, it's very easy to chuck about. You won't turn it quite as tightly as you would a tiny scooter, but it's still really easy to turn around in the road. And the whole point of this machine is the balance it gives you. So you've got something that's really easy to use throughout the city, you've got something that's great on the motorways, and you know, we've done just under 100 miles today, and a lot of it was in twisty mountain roads, and honestly, it was a huge amount of fun. You know you're always in the right gear, but the point is, it doesn't give you that thrust of a sports bike or a typical motorcycle, even a parallel twin motorcycle, because you're not changing gears and getting it into that perfect position. But the pleasure you get from just weaving all these bends together, it honestly is really enjoyable. It is a bit of a step for some people. It's not going to be for everybody. I'm not going to try and convince you here that you need to switch over to this from whatever you're riding, but just please don't think it's never going to be for you. So changes that have been made for this year, it's had a restyle, it's got the projector LED headlights, it's got 10mm more ground clearance, it's got a new screen. Now, talking to previous owners, the new screen hasn't made a huge difference, but it's very good. Again, I'm 5'10", I found that up to about 60 mile an hour, I could have my visor open on my lid and cruising around really happily with it. Over that, it starts to get a little bit buffety. On motorways, it's still fine, and certainly better than a lot of bikes I've ridden recently. Out on the open roads, I tended to want to put it down. You didn't want to be looking through that screen when you're weaving together some of the corners. But it's electrically adjustable, and it's really easy to use with this new thumbstick. There's a new joystick on the left bar. Now that also controls the new TFT dash. That can pair up with your phone, and that's got loads of functions on there that you'd expect of something. It also links with Garmin, which gives you, it's a subscription app, costs you £33.99 a year, but that does give you full navigation on there. It is only Garmin at the moment. Personally, I'd like to see TomTom or even the option of using Google on there, but it can potentially give you weather reports, lots of other information on there. So it's that connected stuff that you don't dismiss it. You know, we've got a lot of electronic stuff on bikes now, and actually it's really convenient. And it's that convenience of this that is one of the great things. If I take my lid off here, I just opening the seat. Don't underestimate how useful it is just to have this boot. While we've been working, you know, you're popping your notebook out and putting your lid in there. It easily takes this, even the Quantic, which is a big old full-face lid. It is hugely convenient, but it's not a convenient bike that's just not fun. It's a convenient bike that's a hell of a lot of fun across different things. The seat I've found comfortable. I tend to get a more sensitive bum when I'm out riding on launches, and I was moving around a bit by the end of about 100 miles, but don't forget you've got all these footballs to move around. You can even get your feet up quite high. Other than that, you've still got the locking centre stand, which, you know, on something like this, that's a great security feature, and there's no excuse not to get some security under that seat. But I did say I want to tell you what owners think of them, and certainly the people who've got these absolutely love them. Chris Gibbons has had one for 2 years after trading in the Kawasaki J300. He said he's got friends with motorbikes that rarely ride them because they find them difficult at slow speeds, but he absolutely gets on so well with this. Bill King said it's the best bike he's ever had. It might be the most expensive he's had, but he said it's excellent. And overall, they were all just raving about how good it is. I don't know what these riders are like, what kind of riding they like to do, but don't forget that people like Michael Neves, MCN road tester and one of the fastest riders I know, he owns one, and Matt Oxley, TT winner, lap record holder, he's won 49 races on LCs, he owns one. This isn't a bike just for potting around on, it's something that can do absolutely everything. So honestly, you might not think it's for you, but if you get the chance, have a go on one and then make the decision. I thought it'd be interesting just to show you how we get these tracking shots when we're on launches. Obviously this genuinely is on a closed road. They're very good at shutting everything off, but it just gives you an idea of how we get the shots. For photography, there's a guy laying on the trail on the back. For video, they have a rig bolted to the back of the car.